Going on, everyone? Hope you're well and doing great on this Tuesday, formerly known as Taco Tuesday, soon to be once again known as Taco Tuesday 2026. It is time for us to do what we do best. Get together, put our heads down, grind it out, make sure that we stay on the right side of the market, across markets. Do you see silver, by the way? Silver currently trading at 88, 89 dollars an ounce. CME went ahead and raised margin requirements once again. Now they're making it 8-9%. So regardless of what the price is, it's just a flat 8-9%. It's going to be difficult for anyone short to continue to maintain their short if we continue to see price rising over here. People within CTM have been talking about SD bullion. I personally have used ATMAX in the past, and the spreads here, has anyone tried to sell any physical silver? I'm not selling. Has anyone tried to sell? You could go over here and you could see that. I don't know if these rates are correct, right? They're offering right here, for example, right? These are only, refresh the page that are not locked in until you speak to someone, but they're offering $89. I don't know if that's correct or not. Seems to be pretty good compared to other sites. Definitely check it out if this is what you're interested in. The spread here is about $10. Looking to buy now any type of physical silver. I'm not sure those that buy silver at Costco what the spread is over there. I've heard they're limiting now purchases. That Costco is limiting purchases to 1 ounce. So I don't know. Don't trust that. Verify that. We go ahead and we see that silver gold continue to remain here overbought on the monthly time frame. We're looking at monetary reset happening in real time, but Bitcoin is on the verge here of putting together some momentum. By the way, just massive work here, led by Hey You over the last couple of years, making sure that V4 is now able to come out here and get out to CTM. And it is an absolute beauty, an absolute gift over here. We'll touch on that a lot today and the time ahead. As of this morning, as of like within the last 60 minutes, everybody now has access to V4. Everybody has access. CTM Core, CTM, everyone. Ace, great reminder. As soon as I get off this stream here, as soon as I press the end button, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I flip back over here to the 4K for sure. Silver Pirates are Bitcoin here, looking here and trying on its first repair, its first trendline break over here into the move up, claiming for a retest, and now trying for a resumption up, right? So we have this, it's not just the high over here with the resumption, got that upward sloping resistance that we're trying to overcome. The line above it is the important one. If we're going to have a meaningful repair, price needs to trade above this green line over here, currently around the whole number 100,000 and upward rising. That is the meaningful repair, the structural resistance support that was broken. You can see the major tests in the back, Japanese yen unwind, the spot ETF fake out, and that has become resistance tested 3 times since it broke down. Recovering there sets up Bitcoin back into triple digits. It would coincide here with regaining on the weekly here the 50 SMA. What's interesting about that is those whose strategy revolved around the 50 SMA said, well, we flip and flop back across it. So you need the second weekly close below it for the confirmation. That came down here at $86,500. So closing back above, that will prove pretty painful. But even still, we are looking at a series of higher highs, of lower highs. Even still, structurally here, we are feeling weak here. and we saw some damage done, some major damage, this would be a meaningful repair. Price able to trade back above. We saw today's CPI readings come in and coming in a little bit lower than expectations, and we are seeing that led by shelter, and shelter from my expectation. Just you remember, we could fast rewind here a few months ago, and everyone was looking for this like higher blast of inflation to come, and we're like, I don't know. I think we're going to see in 2026 a lot of cover on inflation. Obviously, oil remains pretty low right now, spiking a little today, perhaps off of the whole Iran situation. I'm just going to try to just get a quick read over here. And I mean, I don't know about spiking, but yeah, up a couple of percent. And I don't really think that's something to watch or worry about right now. Tomorrow we have some core PPI readings, some more inflation readings, and here we are running until next week, and we have a pretty light calendar ahead of us. So we're going to be focusing here on the technicals and most of all our positioning. Right now, this is buy side boost and pre V4 launch. So I'll continue covering these positions until they close out. And then we have Bitcoin here once again. In 2026, the only position here on buy side boost has been Bitcoin closing out, now back in the market over here and holding the full load, currently holding 2.5%, 2.7% into profit, and a pending here on V2 on Ethereum 6 hours from now, which would take 1/3 of this full account trade. It would exit it and then enter into Ethereum. There was a question over here, though, a small question, right, regarding buy side boost on V4. So first of all, and just major hat tip also to Phoenix Fire, the architect of buy side boost, active on the Discord channel. Questions there, do go ahead and articulate them. On the buy side boost, you're looking at, right, a position that has been open since before release to the community, so it doesn't count. And that's the Solana position. Right now, you're looking here at Ethereum sidelined, Bitcoin sidelined, waiting on a potential signal. Those that are trading V4 buy side boost in 2026 are going to be sidelined right now. We have Ethereum here with an open position. A couple of things that are being done here right now on the rollout. The first thing that's being done over here is on the bar of entry on the short side here, there needs to be an adjustment made. It was giving the stop loss flip-flopped, right? So it was giving a stop loss as if it was a long position, and it needed to be obviously above price. That's fixed after the initial bar of entry. I mean, it's going to, Heyu's working on that. Right now, we will roll that out as soon as fixed. And at the same time, you can see by the second bar, it has the correct stop loss. The money management, trade management features. First, we're looking at fixing the bar of entry. Second, we're looking at re-adding the automation fields, the old school that we've had since CTM 2.0 and on V2 with the 4 different fields for automation. And then over here, you could see the color coded over here. That's just going to be adjusted as well. So once that update is pushed through, the next thing is to get the V4 alerts into the Discord. And then after that, we'll go ahead and we'll work on making sure we cover in detail all the trade management features. On the second bar, the stop loss was set correctly. And then over here, you could see on this opening of this last bar, the trailing stop loss on the short side here of 1.1% has been initiated, and you could see this line moving down now in real time. So we will be covering that. Some people, not some people, Brian was wondering what's going on with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin on V2 is long and V4 is not, and just, high level, like we have V4, which is V3 and V4 pushed into one update, which is built on top of. It's not different. It's built on top of V2, which is built on top of CTM 2.0. So we had an additional, on top of CTM 2.0, V2 added a few different filters that we've used. On top of V3, V4, there's been an additional level of trend momentum defining, which also offers as potentially, if utilized that way on the model, as an early exit to lock in more profits, as well as trade management features like, moving the stop loss after X amount into profit, on an exit signal, moving the stop loss again, and or using a trailing stop loss, and or using an ATR based trailing stop loss from the beginning. So it's, if you're wondering how V2 could be long here, and I think from afar these past few months where we've been forward testing V4 in relation to the positioning with V2, you'll see that they're often into different positions, right? So I consider that noise. Unless we're in a strong trend, you would not expect that CTM 2.0, V2, V4 all have the same direction because they're all uniquely modeled over here. But yeah, there's that, you know, there's that, I want to be in the trade. It's the right thing to do right now. Maybe and hopefully, and again, a lot of people in the buy side boost on the Bitcoin. So even still, let's hope that we actually gain momentum. Let's hope that we are able to go ahead and take this current bit of momentum that is building over here. And I would love to see, a test and even a work towards that meaningful repair. It seems that the most bearish thing in 2026, now I'm not talking about crypto Twitter, which just seems to be gone, but I think the most bearish thing is that pretty much everyone is bullish and doesn't expect a recession. Now, I don't know how I feel about that. What I mean by that is, well, I kind of usually like it when I'm a little bit off sides. I like seeing things early. And now that, this seems to be consensus, I don't think it's consensus amongst Bitcoiners and those involved in crypto, right? 4-year cycle, 2026, bear market recession. That seems to be, from what I see, is the base case over there. But again, that's founded on, well, I don't know what that's founded on. I don't know how I feel about most people. Look, I don't think we've entered anywhere close to the reacceleration narrative taking foot. Once that happens, how do we feel? Yeah, well, look, we form our own opinions, and if others share it or it winds up becoming the main narrative, there's a reason for that. It's not going to affect our view. We're definitely not going to change our opinion because other people start to embrace it. We're just going to do our best to stay in front of all of this because, again, I don't think that there's anything easy about it whatsoever. Nothing has changed. We might be chopping around, muddling along further out. Eventually here, 2026, I think we're going to gain some traction. Earnings season's upon us now, and we'll continue taking each piece place by place. Did you see that I think is worthy? I'm thinking about the AI build out in my mind, and you see that Meta seems to be pivoting towards becoming a cloud computing giant, right? Which is interesting, and to do that, I mean, it requires further build out. I don't see any signs at this particular moment that this current build out is coming to an end or slowing down. The only thing that we've looked at and seen is that, well, it could be limited by factors, and those aren't chips. It could be by energy, and that could become a story in 2007, 2028, but it doesn't seem that there's any desire to actually get left behind in this race, and that we're going to continue to see compute expanding at an exponential rate. So again, my worry is further down the line, there is going to come a point in time where this growth that's trying to be engineered is actually going to run out of steam. There is going to come a point in time where the ramifications is going to lead to an inflationary impulse. There is going to come a point in time where this money printing, this balance sheet expansion that's just turning and just getting started, is actually going to have ramifications. And don't forget, if it's an election year and if the president starts handing out money, that was uber inflationary last time they did that. That would be a concern. But we're forward thinking. The markets are forward thinking. We're not there yet, but it's on my horizon. Like, don't get comfortable. This could be. We've lived through a lot of firsts, I feel like, and the magnitude of the potential reset ahead of us could be along those lines, which gives way more importance to what we do here. Right now, for example, stocks are 100% in cash. What a rarity. Nevertheless, this is like this is going to protect so many people. Someone was talking this morning about buy side boost in 2025 and only producing 10%. But it did produce 10% when you're looking at every asset that was involved in it down on the year. So that, I mean, think of it as capital preservation. Everyone that's been involved in CTM understands what it was like to have outside years, and they're going to return again. They're going to return. Um, there is the chatter. I think it's just well, maybe this Kamath guy started it. That SpaceX is actually not going to IPO and do a reverse. Uh, let's say I forget the correct terminology. I'll call it a reverse IPO merger with Tesla and Tesla shareholders then being diluted, but at the same time getting benefit from. It makes sense that much like Alphabet is a holding company, that Elon's companies all wind up eventually coming under one basket, so that they could also share all of their IP that kind of benefits all of them. That would be interesting if that were to happen. I've looked at, for example, what some LLMs take on SpaceX and the IPO and what the CAGR would be and ultimately anytime I kind of go along down those rabbit holes, it just pushes and pushes much more validity and credence into what we do here in CTM, because at the end of the day, it's very difficult to produce over an extended period of time any type of those returns that we are looking for. Destiny, I think I have a chart of it over here. Let me go ahead and just jump over to it and just take a quick look with y'all. And there we go. So OpenAI, what is going to be the ramifications here of OpenAI and the current court case going on? I don't know. Man, I don't know how I feel personally about OpenAI, which is a big part of this holding. If they do get to go public, though, at that point in time, it becomes likely a liquidity event that would be largely bought into, and that might be an opportunity here for an exit. I feel like SpaceX is a company that, if you're buying the IPO, if they IPO strip, that you might want to own for the next 20, 30 years, right? I'm not sure about OpenAI. There's a lot of competition over there. You could see that we're looking at a double black diamond, conservative breakout, retest underway. This last bit of dip down, already was the gap already closed. The gap is already closed. It's just, in my mind, this particular holding company is, by the way, Stripe might IPO this year as well. I think Stripe has a makeup in Destiny 100. If not, what's the European alternative here? It starts with an R. Is definitely one of the top 7 holdings, I believe, here. But OpenAI and SpaceX are the two major, let's say, weighted holdings of this particular company. And there's a good chance this year that both of them IPO. Um, you know, I would be holding and or adding on any type of corrections. Revolt. Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. The the product is not bad, but it seems that there's competition from many different areas, right? Opus 4.5 seems to be really crushing it. A lot of buzz going on that end. You look at XAI, and Grok continues to grow and is growing at a really high rate. OpenAI is, their burn rate is 100 billion a year. They have massive amount of network effects, but I'm not really sure. It's going to be, well, they have a lot of investments as well. Sam's been pretty good about that, I think. And Sam's been pretty good about investing in a lot of different areas. We'll find out. Sats. Let's jump over here. And I think it's not here. I mean, you got to be partial towards the name. Oof. Ace. I mean, where were you, Ace? Why didn't you tell us about this in the summer of 2025? Yeah. Listen, let me put it on the bottom of the list here to look into it, and I'd like to learn a little bit about them. Just looking at the chart here, though, thing is popped, 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 popped. Interesting. This is looking interesting, Ace. I wish I could put a line right here, but I'm just going to remember to come back and take a look at what's going on. This looks interesting. I would like to know more about this and what's happening over here. Yeah, it would be funny if Sam's actually is invested everywhere. OpenAI is, obviously put a lot of, let's say, made it too big to fail compared to a lot of other parties. You saw, what was his name? Masi-san go ahead and sell all of his Nvidia shares, which I don't think that was so smart. I think Nvidia is going to do well this year, in order to go ahead and be able to fund his OpenAI investment. AI energy play. Ooh, just like the sound of both of them. I mean, I feel like you include AI energy in any type of public stock, and it probably is good for 30% pump in this year. But yeah, energy serious, no doubt about it. This great space race is becoming, and what I love about the whole space thing is that it's becoming an energy play, right? There's a great episode, Elon Musk talking on, what's the name of this pod over here? Moonshots. And they're looking at building out these solar arrays that are going to power these data centers. We're lost in the chat. Hold on one second, y'all. Let me find back over here. All right. Ooh. IONQ. So, so right now, obviously, my focus here is on everything V4 and making this rollout, which I mean, the 12th yesterday was our date, and we had it 90% out. Today we have it all out, but we still need to make a couple of push outs over here, the things that I was describing earlier, making sure this is all in order, and then we'd be able to move on to just like buzzing up the hive mind, getting us going here in so many different areas, and including here on the growth potential here in 2026. Don't forget, those that are trading CTM templates on stocks in 2026, buy side boost deployed on half the portfolio: Tesla, MicroStrategy, and Nvidia. And then the other half is traded straight allocations, the spot ETFs, MicroStrategy, and FNGU. So I like the momentum building here. I want to see a successful resumption up and above our resistance. I would love to be able to at least take a look at the main level that we're watching over here for a meaningful repair to take place. Powell and the whole new saga. I don't know what your thoughts are on all of that. I don't know that it is what it seems. So I'm going to refrain from commenting right now. And there we are. All right. Which one? Oh, BE, AI energy. I keep hearing that theme, AI energy right now. Bloom. Oof. Man. So here, I mean, this is true though, right? Right now, at the beginning of the year, you're seeing a lot of capital being deployed into new areas. You're seeing initial reaction here out of the gate, pretty strong. This is going to be, especially during, the first quarter here and second quarter, the opportunity remains that at any point in time, we could see a real correction. Tomorrow, I think that tomorrow, potentially, we get the Supreme Court ruling. Is that, from what I understand? And if that happens, that could have a tremendous impact here on markets both ways. So like, don't get any type of FOMO. Like, their time is on our side here, right? And we're waiting here for everything to be lined up here to begin attacking. And as far as any type of growth plays and speculation in there, I don't think you want to chase off. I think you want to wait for the right time and be there to attack. Dogination. Are you talking here though about Bloom? The Powell saga seems pretty wild. It seems that he was just asked for information. I don't know. He kind of went all rogue, talking about indictments. I don't think that was part of anyway. Um, this looks good to me over here. Look at Ethereum here lining up. We looked at what Bitcoin needs to do in order to be able to make that meaningful repair. It's similar here on Ethereum. It's regaining that first lower from that spike up on Bitcoin, regaining that area. That brings in then obviously 38, above 38, and this thing is wide open here. Ethereum is expected at this particular point of cycle, as the balance sheet expansion begins to run the right direction up, that Ethereum here should get ready here to do its thing and outperform outside of an adoption event. Yeah, I'm just like a heads up. Tomorrow we could get the decision out here, and that's a massive wild card. We want that behind us. Like, regardless of initial reactions, favorable, unfavorable, we want that type of mega uncertainty behind us, opening up the door here for things to just begin their groove. I'm keeping this short and sweet today because my focus here continues to be on finishing this rollout of V4 and making this as smooth as possible, giving us the tools here early in 2026 in order to go ahead and crush it. So, Ace, I'm going to go ahead and change the adjustment back to 4K. Everyone else, we're going to be back at it tomorrow. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Big shout out to, and I've seen so many hat tips, and thanks to everyone who's made the rollout possible. Biggest thanks to Hey You, the massive effort put in over here. Looking forward to also reviewing here all different periods of performance with you all and making sure that you all have what is needed to go ahead and conquer the markets. Have a beautiful day, everyone. God bless you.